Right. So you read the you heard the earnings call, or
yeah, I heard about it.
You heard, what did you hear?
I'm a blogger. We don't read it.
Yeah. What did you hear?
Apparently, he thinks this cloud computing thing might be real.
Yeah. Well, as you know, I think only 6 months ago, said it was ridiculous and made some very caustic remarks, which is not, very much like him. And then he said something very zen on the call. He said, kind of in his spiritual mentor way, which I appreciate because he is my mentor after all, he said, well, cloud computing, the key to cloud computing, and the key, grasshopper, to on-demand is on-premise. And the key to on-premise is on-demand. And you cannot have on-demand without on-premise. And you cannot have on-premise without on-demand. It was very zen. I was like hitting a new level of enlightenment when I heard about it. I was like, wow, this guy got it. On-demand is on-premise. And yet on-premise is on-demand. And if you can understand that, then you will know why cloud computing is what it is. You got to hear about the call. To understand it, you got to read it.
In my head, I'm doing the Jackie Jack imitation as hard as I can, but I didn't get it at all. Maybe some of you people there, I didn't get it. Maybe you could tell us what you think is cloud computing.
Well,
and no Larryisms, please.
No, well, I will add a couple, but I think we are, why I quit my job over 10 years ago at Oracle is because I do think we are in a big shift of computing models. I think that the computing models that we saw evolve out of the 70s and 80s and into the 90s was, of course, the movement from the mainframe and into client server, kind of that world. We saw, kind of the intermediate step of companies like Digital Equipment Company and Data General and all that, and the mini computers, and then we saw Dell, the PC, and the domination of the LAN. And then, I think when Diane Green started VMware in the mid-90s, she had a tremendous vision of the virtualization of the server. That we had bought so many servers and we had so many data centers, but that we weren't using them. A, they were not efficient, and B, they were burning way more energy than they needed to, which I think she was incredibly insightful around that. And she gave us a great piece of software that let us kind of virtualize our servers and get a lot more out of them, and created a whole industry, and she did an amazing thing, and now Paul is leading the next generation of that. And then we saw kind of Jeff Bezos say, wait a minute, I can see what Diane is doing in the data center. I could take my servers in my big public data centers and kind of do the same thing. And maybe what I could do is I could take those initially LAMP applications and move them from those corporate data centers, which are very expensive and proprietary and hard to maintain and upgrade, and put them into our shared data centers, which are, much cheaper because I'm operating at scale. And that was kind of the third stage, so it kind of moved from client server to the virtualization of client server, and kind of that virtualized environment to like the public virtualized environment with EC2 and S3. And I think also Microsoft's new kind of, they have a thing coming next year, it's called the Zoom, that will have, you've heard of the Zoom?
This is Zoom, but I didn't hear it.
I have pulled, so I didn't hear it.
Zoom.
You have to say it more.
Okay.
Yeah, Zoom. So you see, you take this, the model is, Jeff Bezos has proven it brilliantly, that you have the virtualized public data center that lets you move your LAMP applications, and Microsoft has the Zoom data center where you take the .NET applications and move it to theirs. So then you really have this kind of movement of these apps from the corporate data centers and really moving into literally the cloud. And then the final stage is what I call kind of the pure play environments. And the pure play environments are the environments that are written from the ground up to be multi-tenant shared systems. A great example pure play environments offer a much greater level of efficiency. So we are on an efficiency, basically, threshold where we move from the mainframe to client server to the virtualized server, and then we crossed into the public internet, and then we hit into the kind of the EC2 and the Zoom systems, and then we move down into the pure play systems. And when we get to these pure play systems, we get really efficient. And as an example of that level of efficiency and kind of cost reduction, Salesforce.com, as you know, has about 60,000 customers and approximately, call it 2 million total users. We have two primary data centers. We have a third international data center that we're just basically bringing up now in Singapore. But in our primary data center, which is in California, which is the majority of our operation, and we have a fully mirrored, replicated, backed up data center. And this data center did 4 nines of availability last quarter. It did 13.6 billion transactions. It does about 200 million transactions a day. It only has about 500 PCs in it. But it's the software, the pure play software that wraps those 500 PCs that gives that efficiency. But because we don't let you take your software that you've written and kind of run in your data center, we can get much more efficiency because you operate within our managed environment. And this is the fourth key shift into the pure play. And eventually we'll all move into the pure play environment as more functionality and more capability comes into these pure play systems. And an example is you use that thing with your blog. What is it called? The WordPress. Yeah. That's a pure play, right? 4th generation system. It's a true, shared environment. You don't have to worry about the servers and all that kind of thing.
So what you're saying, Mark, is essentially you're moving from a product-specific company such as yours, which was like application and on-demand Salesforce, to more of an environment, more of a platform approach. So just like Intuit recently introduced a small business-related cloud service, do you think more and more companies are going to follow that trajectory?
I've seen it. I mean, for us and our customers, our environment, we have 3 key things that we do in our business. One is our sales application. Second is our call center customer service app. Both of those are in Gartner's Leader Magic Quadrant. And the third is our platform, where we let either our customers or ISVs build their own applications using our infrastructure. And when they do that, they get all the benefits of our system, not just the reliability, availability, scalability, serviceability, but they also get the mobility, so the apps automatically work on Blackberries and iPhones. They get the multi-language, it automatically runs in 17, languages, all of those things. So these kind of next gen systems that kind of are built for the cloud, run in the cloud, have high levels of efficiency, are energy efficient, global, multi-currency, multi-tenant, on and on and on. But that's the next kind of world that we're really moving into. And we have great examples already of this.
So if you are, let's say, a travel-related on-demand service, in order to be relevant, let's say, for next few years, you have to evolve into becoming more like a cloud platform.
Well, look at Expedia. I mean, they are, right? I mean, Expedia is a great example of cloud computing. They offer a public capability. They also offer an enterprise app, right? They've worth about $5 billion. They're part of IAC, the very dealer empire, and they've done a great job. And they are, a great example of you get tremendous productivity in the cloud.
I would disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Even, by that definition, there no such thing as force.com, right? Like you have force.com for you to try to get developers to.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So they're just like.
So you mean like an APIs and ecosystem?
Yeah. So they're just an internet service. I mean, the crucial difference is.
I see
if you're
what
going
you're
to
saying.
call it
Sure.
an environment, it has to have an environment to build other people, to let other people build on it.
But they do have APIs that you can push and pull information to. It may not be as robust as you would like. But the reality is the core architecture itself is very strong. And there's probably lots of other examples